present this really grateful for you to invite me to educate you on this, really share information about this important topic, especially tapping into the senior market because it's such an underserved market. And I'm so glad that this is on your list of understanding. And today, because outside of also being an agent, Mary and I were part of a group called American Retirement Group, and our mission is to educate and empower agents and seniors about all their options when it comes to home equity in their home. And so let me take you through. So why is it important to tap into the senior market and becoming their trusted advisor? Is because this is an amazing stat. Over 40% of transactions nationwide were completed by seniors. 8 out of 10 seniors are homeowners. I'm sure you've heard of the word Silver Tsunami because of the number of seniors looking to maybe move and transition. And so understanding their needs is going to be an important part of your business. And right now, research shows there's over $18 trillion of senior housing equity across the United States. And home equity represents over 50% of most seniors' net worth. And for a lot of families, it is true as well. So as a real estate agent, being their trusted advisor, being able to understand how they can really utilize their home equity and plan with their home and equity in mind. And drivers for senior home transactions include downsizing and upsizing, what we like to call right sizing, helping seniors moving closer to family, gray divorce. I'm not sure if most of you have heard that word. That represents that a lot of the divorces happening today, a majority of them are happening in the 50 years and up range. So by understanding senior needs, what's happening there in the reverse mortgage, you can better help those couples through that transition, and also just general financial planning for retirement. So when seniors and agents think about, helping them, most of the time when it comes to financing, seniors and agents think about cash, because most seniors on their fixed or limited income don't qualify for traditional financing on their limited income because they have debt to income ratio requirements. And so today I want to give you this foundation on this third option that is still really misunderstood. There's not a lot of really accurate information about the reverse mortgage. And in particular, FHA has an amazing program called the Home Equity Conversion Mortgage. And by understanding this third option, this will enable you to better serve this market and stand out from your competition too. So how does reverse mortgage add value to seniors and create more transactions and referrals for you? Well, if you look with just downsizing, helping seniors go from that 2-story home with stairs down to the single story, or moving them from the 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom home that they raised their family in for 20, 30 years, and helping them right size into a 1 or 2-bedroom. Did you know that with a reverse mortgage, you can actually help more seniors upsize, afford a higher price property, go into their dream home? And consider this option for certain seniors. They might like the idea, because I know in markets like Kansas City or Chris is at, there's a lot more 2 to 4 units. So consider helping them move from a single family to a 2 to 4 unit where they could create their own private community, invite their friends and family to live there, multi-generational living, and create additional streams of income if they want to rent out the other units. And on the one transaction side, if we help a senior understand how the reverse mortgage works and it looks like it's a good fit for them and their needs, you can help them access that home equity so they can buy a second home or a vacation home, look at buying more rental property, or helping that senior help their children or grandchildren buy their first rental property or more rental property, really talking about creating that multi-generational wealth and helping gift a portion of that home equity to help that family member maybe buy their first home. There's still a lot of adult children living at home, and it's because they don't have enough funds. So by showing this whole family what they could do with that home equity, they could start creating that multi-generational wealth. So you're really going to be the trusted home advisor for the whole family. And even though this side on the left, if because 80% most seniors aren't going to be ready to just move right away. So by building relationship with them, understanding their home needs, by showing them how they can age and play safely, so by getting a reverse mortgage, they could use some of that equity to make upgrades, add an ADU that's really popular here in California, make home improvements so they can age and play safely, and help them just improve the quality of their life. You become that go-to agent so that when it's time to sell, you have like no competition, because they're going to go, Michelle, Audra, you are the one that helped me throughout my process and gave me extra information and support that I didn't know. So when it comes time to list and to downsize or upsize, you're going to be the one that they're going to turn to. So what is a reverse mortgage? So a reverse mortgage is just another type of mortgage out there, but it's designed specifically for seniors so that they can access that home equity or purchase a new home without having to make monthly payments. Imagine that. It's the only loan product where you're not required to make a monthly payment. And the home equity conversion mortgage, HECM for short, is by far the most popular reverse mortgage out there. It was insured, became insured by FHA in 1988 when Ronald Reagan passed it into law, because he was thinking about how can we better protect our seniors and make sure that they have a more safe and stable retirement. Unfortunately, though, it's been over 40 years and still people have a lot of misconceptions about how reverse mortgages work. There's a lot of just negative connotation about it. And I totally get that, because my husband and I, when we first heard about reverse mortgages, we just thought, well, it doesn't sound like it's a good program, because why would you go reverse if you could go forward? So by understanding, our mission is to really bring out that education awareness of this program. And so who qualifies? The number one requirement is you have to be 62 plus. So not everyone can qualify. As long as one borrower is 62, it's only for primary residences, and you have to have sufficient equity. But there are options out there for 52 and older. So we can help certain clients with that option as well. So why would a senior, what are the benefits for a senior to consider a reverse mortgage? Well, the number one is eliminating that monthly mortgage payment. So if they still have a monthly mortgage, this is huge, to get rid of that monthly mortgage payment. And they can have, even for someone who's paid off their home, what's beautiful about reverse mortgage is you have flexible options to tap into that home equity as tax-free income. And one of those options includes a line of credit that's structured to grow every year without having to requalify. And we have other trainings to really highlight the differences between a traditional line of credit and the line of credit that seniors get to access through a home equity conversion mortgage. And there's less stringent requirements because this is designed for seniors. So unlike traditional mortgage, that they still have to qualify for debt to income, credit, it's much less stringent with the reverse mortgage option, and it's non-recourse to the borrowers, so, or their heirs. So if the mortgage balance ends up being higher than the value of the home, they're not going to owe any more than the value of the home. They can just give the keys to the bank and walk away. So for a lot of seniors who are on this fixed or limited income, imagine if you're 65, 70, hopefully you're not working as hard as you are now. And if you ever needed access to your money for emergencies, surgery, right? Where can a senior go to make that extra money? Right? And home equity is such a big part of their wealth. Let's help them learn their options for tapping into it. So we love sharing stories. So here's a recent story that Mary helped a client here in sunny San Diego. Mr. Tran, retired, living on a fixed income. His Social Security income only $722 a month. And His home is worth over $690,000 at the time that Mary talked to him about his options. His mortgage balance was $230,000, but the challenge was, imagine trying to live on $720 a month when his house payments alone were almost $2,800 a month. So he was working side gigs in order to make up the difference, trying to make an extra over $2,000 a month. He had no savings or retirement. Well, fortunately, by taking the time to understand the reverse mortgage option, he was able to refinance. So he eliminated his mortgage payment. Mary was able to help him get an additional $30,000 in cash, $17,000 line of credit, and his home equity was still over $400,000. Well, 2.5 years later, just recently, he was excited to find out that his home had appreciated over $200,000. So that's not normal. That's the California market, to $935,000. So that enabled him to qualify for to refinance. So he actually got a lower rate, and he got an additional $26,000 in cash, and his home equity was still over $530,000. So for him, it was a lifesaver. He was just felt so much more peace of mind, not having to worry if he wasn't making enough money from his side gigs to cover his monthly expenses, and he could still stay in his home comfortably. So you might be asking, well, what happens with payment? So this chart helps kind of give you a visual representation. So like if your bank's not requiring you to make that payment, they're giving you the option of paying that mortgage at the end when you're ready to sell the home or you pass away. So that mortgage balance is growing over time because the bank's giving you the option to defer that payment. But also at the same time, they understand that your home value is growing. So when Mary's doing a loan scenario loan proposal, you'll see the amortization table, and the software automatically assumes a 4% annual appreciation. So seniors, and with the safeguards that are put into place with this program, it really keeps the senior with lots of home equity at the end, where it goes to the heirs when they come to sell. So just imagine for yourself, if you didn't have to make mortgage payments for the next 20 years of your life, what would you do with that extra money, right? So how is that reverse mortgage paid off? Well, it's paid off when the final spouse passes, moves out, or decides to sell their home. And just like a regular mortgage, it's a lien on title, except the heirs have up to a 1-year grace period. So most people don't know this about reverse mortgage. So if you see a reverse mortgage on a listing for a property you're helping to sell, don't panic. Reach out to the company. It's very straightforward. The beautiful thing is that family, they have up to 1-year grace period to either decide to sell the property and the equity goes to the heirs, just like a traditional sale, or they could refinance if they want to keep the property. And the beautiful thing is there's no mortgage payment during this 1-year grace period. So while the family's grieving, figuring things out, they're not required to make a mortgage payment. Unlike with a traditional loan, someone's got to make that payment or the bank could foreclose. Again, that home equity conversion mortgage by FHA is a non-recourse. So if the property was ever to be upside down, the heirs could just walk away from the home, and there's no deficiency judgment or anything like that. So that senior got to enjoy all that home equity while they were still alive, or pass it on to their kids. And now I'm excited to share with you, for agents, how do you generate more transactions with this home equity conversion mortgage? Why would seniors consider this option versus paying all cash? Or because you can save more cash because it's less down payment required with a home equity conversion mortgage. You get to eliminate your mortgage payments. So basically, it's like paying for all cash because you have no mortgage payment. It's like owning it free and clear. And it's non-recourse, so you're never going to owe more than the house is worth. And if used strategically, a home equity reverse conversion mortgage is truly a powerful way to plan for retirement, because it could be an option to help seniors delay Social Security payments so they can get more managed sequence of return swiss. It's a word financial planners like to use, and we have trainings and we'll have videos to explain some of these benefits, helping them create a living legacy now while they're still alive versus waiting till they pass before they can really do the things that matter to them most, and helping them age in place more comfortably and providing more liquidity for investing and other purposes, travel. So I want to show an example of downsizing, right? So let's say you help a senior sell their home for $300,000. They net 276. They're looking to downsize into a smaller place for $200,000. So most of you might be only familiar with the senior assumes I'm just going to have to pay cash for that property. Well, I want to show you what it looks like compared to using a home equity conversion mortgage, a reverse mortgage. So let's say you have senior buyer A, they're going to use all cash, paying $200,000 to buy that property. Senior B decides, you know what, I'm going to use a home equity conversion mortgage thanks to my agent, thanks to ARG working together. They put only 60% down, $120,000. So in senior buyer A's situation, they don't have a mortgage payment because they paid it off. They bought it free and clear. And they have 70 home equity conversion mortgage. They also have no mortgage payments, but now they have $156,000 left over. That's $80,000 more than if they'd used all cash. So you can ask the senior, ask your client, you know, what would you do with those extra funds at closing? Would you travel more, take more cruises with your family, do more home upgrades, add the aging in place safety features? Save, invest more with your financial planner, donate more, gift a down payment to your loved ones so that you can help them buy their next home or their first home. So here's an upsizing success story, because a lot of seniors don't think that they can buy more. So this is a client, retired couple, Carlos and Letitia, age 77 and 68, married for 25 years. They live on a fixed income. Their home was old, needed repairs. They really wanted a new home, but they couldn't qualify for a traditional loan, and they didn't have enough cash to buy it outright. So for them, the reverse mortgage made sense. So they sold their home for $750,000, and they bought a brand new home for $950,000. By only putting down $600,000 from their proceeds, they had $150,000 left in savings, and they had no mortgage payment. So it was a dream come true for them, because they're living in this brand new home where they're now holding parties for their family. And the DR Horton agent was so amazed with how smooth this process was that they want us to do educate all of their agents too. So if you have a client who can't qualify for traditional mortgage, and they're not wanting to use all their cash, or even if they did have enough cash to buy their home outright, take the time to introduce them to working with us so we can educate them, and they might be so grateful that you introduced them to this option. So just a fun fact, the largest reverse mortgage now is $10 million on an $80 million mansion. So wealthy people take advantage of this as a strategic tool for financing. So so who are we? You know, American Retirement Group, we are a full service mortgage broker for all residential lending needs. So we and our affiliates were registered. We could do business in 49 states. New York is still pending, and hopefully in a few months. We have lending relationships with over 90 banks and lenders, which make us super competitive so that we can cover this whole range of options, from conventional FHA, VA, USDA, reverse mortgage, the HECM product by FHA, the non-HECM products, non-QM programs, which you might not know about. I didn't know about, even though my husband and I have been investing for a long time. And we are subject matter experts, not only in the traditional loans, but in the reverse mortgage. so that we can really help seniors maximize that home equity by working together with you. So why work with us? Because there's you probably already have all your lending relationships. Well, the difference with us is because we specialize not only in forward and reverse options, we can find the best program for your client. Because if you walk into Wells Fargo, Bank of America today, they're not going to be offering reverse mortgages. And if you just go to a reverse mortgage specialist, they're not going to be able to offer or be that competitive on the forward loans. Our principals have overseen over 1,000 reverse mortgages and 5,000 traditional loans. And what we love doing is providing the best service to you and to your clients. So communication is key. And what makes us stand out really is our free consultation, because we can provide a second opinion to give a very holistic analysis. Brian, here on the call, he was able to, just talk to Chris's clients who was looking to invest out of state, and we were able to give them some options to consider, to think about where they would go for additional rentals, and if they were senior, what are there other options out there to help them be in a better place overall in terms of their real estate planning. And with being subject matter expert in reverse mortgage is really important, because if you talk to a loan officer, they will say, I've heard of reverse mortgage, but unless they've closed a lot of them, they're not going to know the ins and outs. And you don't want your client stuck with a lot of extra paperwork they didn't need to submit and be stuck in this process for months. Whereas with our company, we close in 30 days or less. One of our purchase transactions closed in 22 days with a reverse mortgage, and the agents were so happy, in addition to the client. And I'm going to let Mary talk about our loan guarantee. So she is our chief production officer and loan originator, and we like to call her the Wikipedia of loans. And so I wanted her to cover this part. If she could unmute herself. So while she's doing that, let's see. I don't think she's able to unmute. So can I unmute? Oh, So just in case she can't, what our
Okay, I
commitment?
think I got it.
Okay, good.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi. So, our team is committed to providing the most competitive interest rates and terms. And as Michelle mentioned earlier, we have over 90 banks and lenders within our broker network. If there is a scenario, we most likely will be able to find a program with one of our lenders for it. And our commitment or loan guarantee to our clients is, if you show us your loan estimate and we are not able to do better to beat the rate, then we will pay for your appraisal. So that's a win-win for the client. They're able to confirm that they do indeed have the best interest rate, or if not, then we will be able to find that for them. And if we're not, then we pay for their appraisal. So it's truly a win-win.
Awesome. So if you want to take a picture of this screen, here's Mary's contact information. Mary, do you want to cover what's required to run a scenario for reverse mortgage for a senior? So if you have a senior, Mary can share all the different.
Yeah, so for us to run a scenario for the reverse mortgage to see if they qualify, or it's just a few pieces of information: their approximate age for all borrowers if they are married, home address or the value, estimated current mortgage balance, and if they are looking to purchase, then the price range that they're looking for the new home. And that's it.
Yes. And we have a lot more information, because this is just scratching the surface of the senior market. I just wanted to make sure that you had this information, because this is the foundation for you to have more transactions. So we could, I'm happy to come back to talk about more specifics of the senior market. It's because of my role with American Retirement Group that got me really involved with helping this getting into these transactions with seniors because I was wanting to understand how to even help my mom. She lives in a senior community, 62 plus, 5 minutes from me, and it really hit home how many of them didn't know what their options were. They didn't even needed even just help with repairs and finding good people to help them with age in place. So it's such an amazing demographic to work with. So I'm happy to share that information, but reach out to us if you have any questions. We have conversation starters with seniors, co-branded flyers, examples of our holistic comprehensive analysis. My brother is a icon agent with EXP in Washington, and he has been using Brian and Mary to run analysis for the clients he's running into, seniors, where they feel like he doesn't feel like it's time to just sell their home. He goes, I want to make sure that what is their next step, it fits in with their whole plan before I just sell their home. So, and we have use case scenarios, and we can help you with marketing ideas and outreach and helping you build a vetted seniors vendor list. So if anyone has any questions or want to bring anything up, we're here to help answer that now, and you can reach out to us anytime.
So thank you guys. This is like my brain is spinning on 1,000 different ways we could utilize this to benefit us in our business and just help the senior clients that we're working with. There were a couple questions on there. So Angela wanted to know if there's any specific ARG contact person for Iowa or if they should just reach out to you guys directly.
Yes, you can. Oh, sorry. Reach out. No one specific for Iowa. Mary is the go-to for loan scenarios and pre-approvals, all of that loan specific information. And if there's anything else we can support you with, then you can reach out to me, and I can make sure you're with the right person. Brian is here with the financial analysis and strategies. And we have also another colleague who's really in tune with helping agents tap into the senior communities, senior assisted living, and helping agents communicate with seniors and their needs. So I hope that answers that.
Yes. And then Michelle had asked if you can explain why this type of loan has a reputation for being predatory.
As that's such a great question because when actually the first reverse mortgages were created back in the 1960s, it was actually designed to help a widow stay in her home after her and she couldn't keep up with the payments. And so it was designed with a good intention, but the first programs that came out were equity sharing. So the bank was on title, and there were terms that were predatory, that were not favorable to the homeowner. And so in 1988, Ronald Reagan rehauled the reverse mortgage and had FHA insure the program. So that's totally changed, but that kind of stigma, those stories still stayed, and they're like urban legends. So it's unbelievable. It's like been over 60 years, but those questions we still get asked. Does a bank still take your home? Right? And it's like, no, they don't take your home because you're still on title. So there was a truth to that in the past, but that's like over 60 some years ago. So we're here to try to dispel those myths and empower you so that, because if you already have a relationship with your client and you go back and you talk to them, they're more likely to be open-minded about it because they have a relationship with you, and you bring in our team to answer those tough questions and to educate them. And sometimes it just takes time, and we're here to also help talk to the financial advisor or to match them up with a financial advisor who is very holistic and is open-minded enough to consider the home equity conversion mortgage as part of their financial plan, because there are some professionals and some seniors who are just closed-minded, and no matter what you tell them, they just are stuck. And so we just love on them, and maybe over time they'll start seeing they'll believe the information. So we're going to be coming out with videos. So hopefully in the next week or two, we're going to be releasing videos that you can then watch on YouTube to really fully understand this program, and you can share it with seniors. So have to do all the talking about the reverse mortgage.
Wonderful. Well, Michelle, this was just a wealth of information that I think we can all take away and tangibly use, with our senior clients. So I really appreciate you taking the time to join us on the call today. I'll put the recording out in the Facebook group. And Michelle, I'll reach out to you. If you wouldn't mind maybe sending me a copy of your slide deck that we could
Sure.
put there too. I think that would be great for our folks
Yes.
to be
And
able to
if
use
I
too.
can make a shout out to Sharon and Brandy. So Sharon to have this listing in the senior community. I reached out, and she is a senior real estate expert, an AI and technology expert. So we're working together to collaborate to help educate more agents and help more seniors. And so we'll be coming out with more education and training. So if we can like talk and then come back on future trainings, because if you are part of EXP, I would recommend signing up for the EXP Seniors Network, because there's a lot of resources there. And Heather Brooks, who more agents to help the senior market. It's so served. So if you have some of this information and a heart for seniors and more patient, seniors love talking to us, and they're like, because you're so nice. When I'm ready to sell, I want to sell with you. And I was like, thank you. It's like, because just, and other agents, you could tell they just wanted to sell their home. They weren't really taking the time to make sure that the senior was comfortable with their next option, how to even move their stuff, right? If you're dealing
Yeah.
with a hoarder, that's a whole other world. So we have those type of resources and expertise to share with you too.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much again. We'll definitely be tapping into you again in the future. I'm sure this is a concept that will continue to build and grow. So thank you for your time,
Thank
and
you.
we'll see you guys all on Friday.